is a moment where there are no bad ideas. A no bad idea brainstorm is what I'd like to call it. And in that no bad ideas brainstorm, we talk about what we need to do and think about doing around the Electoral College. We talk about the idea of Supreme Court reform, which includes expanding the Supreme Court. We've got to neutralize these red states from cheating, including blue states expanding their maps. Look, we gotta fight fire with fire.
Red states are cheating now? Are you kidding me? Is that what they're calling it? What a joke. So when Democrats redraw maps, push court expansions, or talk about changing the Electoral College, that's somehow called saving democracy. But when Republicans do the exact same thing, now suddenly it's cheating? I swear this sounds less like fairness and more like changing the rules when things stop going their way. What a joke. Here is Lydia shutting down CNN race baiters over Memphis redistricting. Take a look.
Is there really an argument against what she said, considering that we are in this state of each party doing whatever needs to be done to gain more power?
Yeah, there's been sort of two Democratic responses. The first is hers. And after years of hearing Donald Trump is going to destroy the Constitution and undermine the very fabric of our society, now in order to protect the Constitution, we need to expand the court, undermine the judiciary, eliminate the Electoral College, which is how we've always elected the president, and then add D.C. and Puerto Rico as states. I mean, the irony is just beyond that she wants to save democracy by undermining the Constitution. So that's the one reaction that we've seen. And then the other reaction is the reaction from the far left, like Hassan Piker, who literally has said, this is going to lead to more political violence, which is kind of an endorsement of that, suggesting that that's what's going to happen. So I found it alarming to see that Democrats basically either want to undermine our Constitution in order to save democracy or are essentially calling for violence.
I don't know. I mean, I think you can let Hassan Piker speak for himself. I challenge you to name any other Democrat of any stature who has repeated what he said.
Well, the Democratic Party is embracing Hassan Piker.
Nobody has embraced a call to violence.
Hassan Piker is calling for violence, and Democrats are embracing him.
Hassan Piker, who else?
Well, he's literally campaigning for Democrats like Mamdani and El Sayed.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
This is a gut punch at black political power. And it's funny because the Supreme Court has told you that you can use race to harm people of color with Kavanaugh stops, but you cannot use race to protect communities represented by people of color to make sure they have representation. And this Supreme Court that is jet fueled by MAGA wipes their nose with the Constitution, wipes their nose with precedent, and again, have put a bullseye and a target on black political power. And what's the most
black voters still have a vote?
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And what's most remarkable is that this is all being done to allow Donald Trump to spend $1 billion on a ballroom, to allow Donald Trump to spend billions more in a quagmire in Iran, to allow Donald Trump to take billions of taxpayer dollars and create a slush fund. That's what it's being done for, to protect his power and to allow him to continue to circle the drain. That's what the Republican legacy is.
Absolutely ridiculous. Do these people ever stop with the damn race baiting and non-stop outrage when things don't go their way? Seriously, the minute they lose ground on anything, and I mean anything, suddenly it's all about race, accusations, and emotional grandstanding instead of facts. Everything becomes some dramatic attack on democracy the minute it doesn't go their way. What a joke.
So my question now, are they still going to have a vote in this new district? And if you listen to what the congressman said, it's going to be 29%, 29%, 32%.
Yeah, they cracked Memphis open like an egg.
But that is a giant block of voters who could swing nominations and potentially general elections if you have good candidates who run on a solid message.
There is no
That's
intention,
more power.
There is
That's
no
more power
intention
than a
from
district.
Republicans to represent these black people in Memphis. Not one Republican has a good idea to make life better for black people in Memphis. And that's not the point of what they're doing. The point is dominance and it's political power.
Black Democrat run?
They could.
And try to make life better?
Oh, they could, and they will.
Then do it.
But here's the problem with this. Republicans aren't interested in black people having the type of representation that they deserve. They're interested in dominance, and they're interested in fealty to Donald Trump.
So are
and
they
that's what
only
this exercise
represented
is
when
about.
someone either looks like them or thinks like them?
If that is your takeaway from where we are right now, I think you have the wrong takeaway from where we've reached and the attack on black
But you're not
political
answering
power
the question.
that we're saying. I am.
Memphis is a city. And that city now has been split up into 3 separate districts.
Cracked like an egg.
That span large swaths of the state, designed to dilute the voting power of that municipality and black voters as a result. And that actually is not a district that was created for the purpose of representing black, or having black voters be a majority. It was created because Memphis is a city. And so the idea that Republicans would crack up a city like that, even putting a race aside, that's, I think that is sort of like the type of gerrymandering that I think Republicans would say is kind of bad for democracy.
Well, that's exactly what Virginia did. They took the biggest city in Virginia and tried to make that part of every single district.
Yeah,
And you
three
guys-
million
They built
Virginians
out.
voted on it.
Yeah, but hold on.
And
But
the people
even,
of California
but
have voted on
but
it.
listen,
And
I
the
think
count-
you're,
and
but
it was
Lydia, you're
Every
right.
every
But hold on,
state
Lydia,
is
you're
gerrymandering
right.
to benefit their
But
own
Lydia,
political
you're
party.
right.
It's
But
not
Republicans
hard.
complained that was unfair in Virginia, and then they turned around and did the same thing in Tennessee.
I'm not a fan of redistricting. My point is that every side does what they can to have as many political points as possible and to send as many representatives from their side as possible.
That is homogenizing this
Redistricting
discussion.
is about political power.
That's not what this is about. This is about attack on black political power and suppressing the voice of black people in black cities.
What the heck is this guy talking about? Why is it always about race with the Democrats? I mean, seriously, we're talking about redistricting here, something both parties have been doing for years to gain political advantage. But the second things don't go their way politically, suddenly it becomes an attack on black voters and democracy itself. What the heck is going on here? Instead of admitting this is about political power, something both sides do, by the way, they immediately turn it into an emotional accusation and a racial narrative. I mean, when Democrats did it in Illinois and Maryland, should that have been called racist also?
So what does it signify that Republicans ahead of the midterms believe that it's going to be so necessary to get an upper hand that they have to actually redraw an entire state's congressional maps in order to get 5 whole seats out of it?
Oh, probably the same thing that it signifies when they did it in Illinois and got a 14-3 delegation for D's. Maryland 7-1, Massachusetts 9-0. We know what happened here in New York, California. Even though they have a commission, we all know what goes on there.
In a
blue-
mid-cycle specifically, are all of those cases in mid-cycles?
All of these cases are where Democrats use the power they have to give them an advantage.
But just to be clear, because I didn't do the research that you did in the break here, is it that they're changing it after the actual census process where you're supposed to you're supposed to go through the congressional redistricting process?
Does it matter?
It
Yes,
kind of does.
very
because
much.
I think that's the whole point.
So it's
is
okay
that,
for Democrats to lopside these states 9-0 in Massachusetts.
Here's what I will say about this. I mean,
I'm a Republican.
I don't know.
Exactly right. You see, when they do it, somehow it's perfectly acceptable. But the minute Republicans do the same exact thing, suddenly the accusations start flying and everything becomes about race. I mean, what kind of double standard are we supposed to pretend we're not seeing here? One side calls it strategy, political reality, or protecting democracy when it benefits them. But when the other side plays by the same rules, now suddenly it's outrage and moral panic. It's so disgusting to see them go on national television and push this narrative that the Republican Party is somehow automatically racist. I mean, seriously. At what point do people stop and ask themselves whether throwing around accusations like that is actually helping anyone? Because it's not. You can disagree on policy, argue about redistricting, or debate political strategies without instantly labeling half the country as hateful. It feels like instead of debating ideas, they jump straight to emotional accusations because it shuts down criticism and rallies outrage. These people are truly disgusting. disgusting and delusional. It's not racist to want redistricting, you idiots. It's a political strategy. That's literally what both parties have been doing forever. But no, leave it to these dimwits and suddenly every political disagreement has to be turned into some moral crisis about race. I mean, the second Republicans make a political move, they want us to believe it's rooted in discrimination instead of basic electoral strategy. I mean, this is truly disgusting. When Democrats redraw maps, it's called protecting democracy, right? But when the Republicans do it, now suddenly it's oppression? What a freaking joke.